And welcome. My name is Alan, and we are back for more news and politics from around the world. This is for Wednesday, November the 29th. So, first thing we're going to start with, this is from The Lever. Why drugs are disappearing from your insurance coverage. Powerful companies are removing hundreds of medicines from insurance plans, and they're spending millions to stop attempts at reform. For the millions of Americans that take one or more prescription drugs, having a health insurance plan that covers their medications is crucial. The list of covered medications, called a drug formulary, can mean the difference between a $10 copay at the pharmacy and paying thousands out of pocket for a vital medication. Yet, unbeknownst to many patients, insurers can change their drug coverage throughout the year, thereby removing medications that enrollees were promised. When this happens, those who lose access to their medications are usually barred from immediately moving to a different insurance plan. The problem is widespread and growing. In the last 9 years, the number of medications being eliminated from many insurance plans skyrocketed by around 1,584%. Drug formularies are dictated by pharmacy benefit managers, or PBMs, a powerful companies that determine drug benefits on behalf of health insurers, Medicaid Part D drug plans, employers, and other health care payers. These companies negotiate with pharmaceutical manufacturers to determine what drug health plans will cover and how much the drugs will cost. The three largest PBMs are owned by major health insurance companies, a form of vertical integration that some healthcare experts worry may be leading to higher drug prices and lower quality care for patients. For the same reasons, PBMs are incentivized to only keep drugs on formularies that make them the most money. This is why I've been saying for a long time we need a government-owned, single-payer healthcare system and chop the head off the snake of the insurance bullshit. Period. Because all they're interested in is making fucking money. As the title of the book up here says, for them, it's all about profits over patients. They don't give a damn about the average person. So don't give me this crap that, private business. Fuck you. Private business will raid the coffers if they can. This is from The Guardian. Henry Kissinger, Secretary of State to Richard Nixon, dies at 100. Yeah. Republican Party giant and Nobel Peace Prize winner, the former National Security Advisor, was a key architect of U.S. foreign policy. Wasn't the best of people. He liked to dabble his fingers in all kinds of foreign situations. by his consulting firm Kissinger Associates announced his death on Wednesday evening, but did not disclose a cause. The giant of the Republican Party, he remained influential until the end of his life, in large part thanks to the founding in 1982 of his geopolitical consulting firm based in New York City, and the authorship of several books on international affairs. Kissinger was a Harvard academic before becoming National Security Advisor when Nixon won the White House in '68. Working closely with the president, he was influential in momentous decisions regarding the Vietnam War, including the secret bombing of Cambodia in '69 and '70. That was part of what Nixon called the Madman Theory, an attempt to make North Vietnam believe the U.S. president would do absolutely anything to end the war. As Secretary of State, Kissinger did achieve peace in Vietnam, although not before initiating a heavy bombing campaign at Christmas of 1972 while talks continued. He survived Nixon's downfall in the Watergate scandal and served Gerald Ford, leaving government after Jimmy Carter's election win in 1976. Kissinger's policy towards the Soviet Union was not confrontational enough for the Reagan administration, for precluding any thoughts of a 1980s comeback. But yeah. He liked to bomb Cambodia during the Vietnam War, as it just explained there, because, oh, let's have a madman theory. We'll do anything to win. Next, we have, this is from Common Dreams. GOP pushes Social Security death panel after years of tax cuts for the rich. At today's hearing, Republicans made the true purpose of their fiscal commission crystal clear: demolish Social Security and Medicare behind closed doors. The Republican-led push to establish a fiscal commission for the U.S. debt was met with vocal opposition during a House Budget Committee hearing on Wednesday, with progressive advocates and Democratic lawmakers calling the proposal a thinly veiled ploy to further undermine and cut Social Security and Medicare. They've been trying to do this for a long time. And the thing is, Social Security is its own fund. It is its own fund. The money that's taken out of the paycheck, it is taken out and given into its own fund. It does not affect other debts, billing. No. It's its own fucking fund. You could trace the damn shit. But the Republicans don't care. They've never cared about people. Only the rich. Representative Jim McGovern, one of the 8 witnesses who testified at Wednesday's hearing, said he was a little skeptical that Republican lawmakers are now concerned about the national debt when they, given that they have driven it up with tax cuts for the rich and large corporations in recent years and are still trying to increase it. Trump tax cut. You know what? I don't even need to cough and hide it. Trump tax cut. That's what caused it. We went several more billion into debt because of his stupid ass tax cut. According to one analysis, the series of tax cuts approved under former presidents George W. Bush and Donald Trump have added $10 trillion to the debt since their enactment and are responsible for the bulk of the increase in the debt ratio since 2001. Social Security, by contrast, is not a driver of federal deficits. If we want to ensure long-term solvency for Social Security, there are two choices. Some on the other side think we should cut benefits. I think we should ask the ultra-rich to pay their fair share. We don't need a commission to tell us that, McGovern said during his testimony. And my fear is that a commission could be used by some as an excuse to slash Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and other federal anti-poverty programs. Yeah. Social Security is in its own pot. It don't affect the debt, the deficit, anything like that. There is an amount taken out of each person's paycheck and put into a separate pot that is for Social Security alone. Hell, Ronald Reagan dipped his fingers into the Social Security pot and took from it to pay for other things. So we are even at a deficit because of his ass. Fucking ooh. But yes, of course, let's more tax cuts for the rich, cause that will solve stuff, right? 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 Yeah. This is from LGBTQ Nation. Sarah Huckabee Sanders appoints anti-LGBTQ plus Christian nationalists to oversee the state libraries. Jason Rappert recently called LGBTQ plus people a cult and a devil of hell. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, governor of Arkansas, appointed anti-LGBTQ plus Christian nationalist Jason Rappert to her state's library board, where he will oversee the funding, development, and leadership of local public libraries. He has promised to enforce the state's anti-LGBTQ plus book banning law, even though it's been blocked by courts, and to fund any libraries that sued the state to block it. Like I said, they don't care about people. It's all for their agenda. Help the rich. And, you know, tell people just enough to make them think they're on their side. But they've lied. I've seen this for 40 years. Republicans lie over and over and over and over and over and over again. Don't get me wrong, Democrats fucking lie too. Both parties are really shitty. They really fucking are. Unfortunately, it's only because there's some Democrats that have some levels of common sense that I feel they're the better choice. As I've pointed out before, Republicans on purpose want to hurt people and take their rights away. Democrats are more like, they don't necessarily help people, but They don't try to take their rights. That's about all I can really fucking say about that issue. Now, this is from The Guardian. Arizona voting officials charged for refusing to certify 2022 election results. Republican County Supervisors Tom Crosby and Peggy Judd initially refused to certify their county's election results for the midterm. Two elected officials in a rural Arizona county who stalled certifying election results have been charged by Arizona's Attorney General with conspiracy and interfering in an election with an election officer. Tom Crosby and Peggy Judd, county supervisors in Cochise County, face 2 felony counts for their initial refusal to certify the county's election results in 2022. A grand jury convened earlier this month to discuss the potential charges, which were filed on Wednesday. Crosby and Judd had to be ordered to court to certify the November 2022 election results, passing the statewide deadline for counties to canvass results. Even after the court order, Crosby did not show up to vote on the canvass. The indictment alleges Crosby and Judd conspired to delay Cochise County's vote canvass and knowingly interfered with the Secretary of State's ability to complete a statewide vote canvass on time. The 2 supervisors have repeatedly pushed false election claims and sought a hand count of all ballots later deemed illegal. Earlier this year, Democratic Attorney General of Arizona, Chris Mays, vowed to prosecute over election interference issues in the swing state, which has seen all manner of election denialism since the 2020 election. Yeah, Trump wins 2016. But things start turning immediately. 2018, 2020, he doesn't win. Democrats take power. 2022, Democrats solidify their power on the Senate and barely lose the House. So you've had the Republicans in 2016. Oh, what's wrong? And then after all of these losses, they're like, "This is fake. This is bullshit. This is not real." It's like, guys, you can't cry, "Oh, this is fake," because you start losing. Newsweek. Joe Biden retakes lead from Donald Trump in latest national 2024 poll. Let's see. Morning Consult poll released Tuesday show Biden with a narrow 43 to 42% lead over Trump in the hypothetical 2024 race, with 11% of the respondents stating they would vote for someone else and 5% still undecided. So that's a whole 16% still out there. And I've already made this point. I released a video yesterday. The 2024 race right now is too close to call. And even this, yeah, it's nothing to cheer. It shouldn't even be an article. It's 1%. That's within the margin of error. Anyway. I thought this interesting. This is from Technology Networks Applied Sciences. Sustainable semiconductors made from birch leaves. Nanoparticles made from pressure cooked leaves could replace rare elements used in organic superconductors. So, yeah, we keep hearing a lot about superconductors and everything, and the elements needed to make them. If this has been proven true, it could change a lot, where we don't have to worry about trying to get certain rare elements. So yeah, by pressure cooking birch leaves, researchers can produce quantum dots with favorable enough optical properties to replace some of the rare elements used in semiconductors for optoelectronics. The new pressure cooking method, developed by physicists at Umeå University in Sweden in collaboration with researchers in Denmark and China, can break down plant biomass starting material into nano-sized carbon particles called carbon quantum dots. So yeah, it makes superconductors much more of a possibility for everybody, something much more in reach, instead of the fact they're hard to get a hold of because of the rare elements. This is from the BBC. Freed Hamas captives tell of fear, squalor, and hunger. Bare benches for beds in suffocating airless rooms. Little to no food, a child captive forced by Hamas to watch the carnage of October 7th on video. Stories emerging from those freed from Gaza, mostly through their relatives, paint a picture of weeks spent in squalor, uncertainty, and fear. One hostage, Rudi Munder, 78, said she learned her son had been killed in Israel by listening to a radio used by guards. Deborah Cohen claimed her 12-year-old nephew was made to watch videos of the Hamas rampage through southern Israel. More than 60 of the estimated 240 people taken hostage by Hamas have now been freed under the Israel-Hamas truce deal. Few have spoken directly about their experiences, but those who have, either themselves or through their families, relay a captivity that has left a host of emotional and physical scars. I'm happy these hostages some of them are being released now, because Hamas is still a terrorist group. And they are willing to do bad things. However, that does not excuse the government of Israel's behavior. It is not a right to commit a bombing genocide. I mean, you put your own hostages at risk when you do such things, because guess what? They're underground too. What do you think you're going to accomplish? Killing all the members of Hamas without hurting hostages? Seriously? Is that what you think? No, all it did was hurt, average, ordinary Palestinians. People just trying to live their lives. With what little they have. But I am glad these people are finally getting released by Hamas. Like I said, Hamas itself, yeah, it's a terrorist group. It deserves that designation. Again, it's different than the Palestinian people. I always try to make these distinctions because you cannot group everything into one chorus. That way some people have been trying to do with this conflict. Yeah. Now let's watch some videos here. This is an ex-Israel soldier admits to being a terrorist.
The same rights that I live in Jerusalem, but the Palestinian next to them, next house over, next building over, sometimes next apartment over, lives under my rule, my military rule. And I can do whatever I want with him. I can take his home as a temporary base for a few hours, to a few days, to a few weeks. I can decide that I'm arresting the people of the house and tying them up to defense of my base. If you will get an order to demolish their home or just lock their front door and don't let them out into the street their house is on, a street that only Jewish settlers can walk on and Palestinians cannot. So they have to walk through windows to yards, into the other side, into the Kasbah of Hebron. I think realizing all of that in a very, very early stage in my service helped me understood that someone was lying to me along the way. I didn't feel like I'm protecting anyone. I didn't feel like I'm helping anyone feeling more safe. I feel like I'm terrorizing people. I feel like for the first time in my life, the boundaries between good and bad that I learned as a kid, and obviously I learned that I'm on the good side, was broken. I felt like I am the terrorist. And my job was literally to scare people so they cannot think about acting against the Israeli settlers or the Israeli military. That was actually our defense. So this
Yeah. So he's talking about, he realizes the atrocities they would have to, they were made to commit upon Palestinians as part of, I'm assuming he's talking about being a part of the IDF and everything. Let's see what else we got. Okay. I love this one. Dr. Megan Ranney of Yale dismantles the Chicago gun violence trope, leaving Senator John Kennedy, a Republican of Louisiana, at a loss for words. I loved watching this one earlier. It was so good.
Why do you think that Chicago has become America's largest outdoor shooting range? Do you think it's because of Chicago citizens who have no criminal record, but who have lawfully a gun in their home for protection or perhaps for hunting? Or do you think it's because of a finite group of criminals who have rap sheets as long as King Kong's arm?
So Mississippi, Louisiana, and Missouri actually have higher firearm death rates. Obviously, there's certain.
What about Chicago?
So I don't live in Chicago. It's not my primary area of research.
You don't have an opinion on that?
I think there's easy access to firearms combined with environmental conditions, lack of great education. There have actually been studies showing that when you green vacant lots and repair abandoned buildings in urban neighborhoods, you see decreases in gunshots, in violence, as well as in stress and depression in the neighborhoods around them.
No disrespect, Doc, but that sounds a lot like word salad to me.
He's essentially saying, I ain't really got anything to say about that, so I'll just make a snide comment. Yeah. Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana have higher gun death rates than a lot of these crime cities, these gun death cities that, Republicans claim are so dangerous, like Chicago. Oh my. A lot of the issues go away when you make life better for people. That goes whether you're in the rural areas of the U.S. or the urban areas of the U.S. You make life better for people, violence goes away because people don't feel as squeezed as badly. But all Kennedy wants to talk about, why is Chicago the biggest outdoor shooting range? And she put him in his fucking place. I fucking love that. Okay, ticket number 77 for feeding those who are hungry at the public library after hours. See, this is trying to help humanity, and it's like, no, this is a capitalist country. You're supposed to make money. Oh, fuck. I question the world sometimes. Let's see.
You're going to be cited for violating the food service event ordinance. You've served more than 6 people, or 6 or more. All right.
It's going to be 1411, court number 3, 6 o'clock on the 19th of December. Okay? And it's conducted food service event without this on the property. All right. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Food Not Bombs, we just received ticket number 77 for serving the homeless in Houston for their feeding ordinance. We are here in the Central Library, and hopefully we can get a change to keep spreading the message and let people know what's happening here.
Yep. Food Not Bombs, ticket number 77. 77th time they've been ticketed for trying to provide food for the homeless. General kindness, helping people. But, you cannot do a mass feeding of several people outside. That's a stupid ass law. Stupid ass law. And what did we just talk about in the previous video? If you do things to help people, it takes violence away. If you help people who have no food by providing them with food. It makes life a little easier so they don't feel as distressed about their situations. But no, you're feeding people unlawfully in a group. This is a capitalist country. Why aren't you making money? And this one, yeah, as the title says, human beings. This is Palestinians getting together with a just released family member who they haven't seen in so long. And this is what it should be about. You know, this was not, oh, let's plan for another. No! It's, I love you, my family, my friends. You know, I'm glad to see everyone again. Because in all honesty, we know that a lot of the people Israel have been arresting are not terrorists. Some of them are in their lower teens or single digits in age.
ما شاء الله فرشات حد يعرف بدل المحلات الحمد لله على سلامتك. اسمك الاسد حمزه الصائد الاسود. الله يرضى عليك. الحمد لله على سلامتك. ان شاء الله كفاره. خلوه تحت يسلم. عدد الشباب دي بنتي وقعت تحتيك ان شاء الله.
هذه صديقته هي.
تحت البنات.
And I play videos like, well, I'll let it play out. It's almost 20 seconds.
عم محمد ثاني محمد ثاني. لمين؟
What I was going to say is I play videos like this because it's to show these are not, oh, they're subhuman, they're dogs, like much of the propaganda we see from the Israel government tries to display them. They're people, they're human beings, like I have been saying. Unfortunately, most of those who are suffering the brunt of Israel's militaristic genocide and apartheid are everyday people. They're not, as I've tried and pointed out here several times, Hamas is not all Palestinians. There are still good people, majority of them, just trying to live their lives. Just like I say with Israel, that's why I keep saying government and IDF. Because those are the ones committing most of the atrocities. Yes, I do realize the IDF is made of everyday citizens who go through a service. But I do not include the citizens because it isn't fair to lump them in with those currently in the IDF who are currently partaking of these actions. And I know even in the IDF, some of them may say they're just following orders. In all honesty, if you have a conscience, there's some orders you need to refuse. If they call for genocide, murder, or any of the other ugly things. That will be it for this episode, though. As always, educate thyself, think, read, study, learn. Someone tells you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources. I'll be putting links in the description box below the video. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, later.